Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.
Grant opened the package he had just received in the mail. He was pleased to see it was the elf on the shelf he had just ordered off of eBay. The package was late, considering that it was Christmas Eve. The elf was wearing a red and white suit with a Santa hat. Grant thought it looked a little creepy, like a ventriloquist dummy, but he thought his 6-year-old son Brad would get a kick out of it.
You probably would.
Yeah. Grant noticed there was also a piece of paper in the bottom of the box. It was an elf adoption certificate with the name, of the elf already filled in, which slightly annoyed Grant. The name of the elf was Matty Jingle Powell.
Frank could even keep that one together.
Yeah.
Great name.
Is it the word jingle that got you?
Oh, no.
Jingle too.
Okay. All right.
Pause it.
Pause.
Were you laughing when you were writing this too?
Not as much. Grant and his wife later explained to Brad that the elf had been adopted by their family and would watch him during the day and report back to Santa every night if he had been naughty or nice. They also told Brad that he was not allowed to touch the elf or would lose all of its magic. That night, Grant and his wife silently snuck into Brad's room. He was sleeping peacefully in his Star Wars-themed bed. Grant set up the elf on the dresser opposite Brad's bed so he could see it when he just woke up. They positioned the elf with a naughty or nice report card in front of him. The next morning at the breakfast table, Brad seemed to be struggling to stay awake. "Didn't you get enough sleep last night?" Grant asked. "No," Brad replied. "Jingle kept me up." Yeah. Jingle was a bad choice. Jingle kept me up all night singing Christmas carols. "Really?" Grant said with a smile. "That wasn't very nice of him. Shouldn't he have been back in the North Pole?" "That's what I told him, but Jingle just laughed at me," Brad said. Grant chuckled to himself, amused with his son's imagination. Later, while his wife went to do some... Sorry.
It's okay.
Do some last-minute Christmas shopping with Brad, Grant set up the elf on the table next to the Christmas tree, so it would look like Jingle was putting up tinsel. I'm going to have trouble with this next word, sorry. He then went to the basement to wrap some presents. He was extremely proud of one in particular. He had purchased Brad.
He had what?
He had purchased Brad a brand new Troy Aikman jersey. That he was sure he would love.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. This happened in the 90s.
Yeah. That evening when Grant was taking a nap, he was wakened by the sound of something hitting the wall, coming from Brad's bedroom. He got up quickly and went to that room. Brad was sitting on the bed, and the elf was laying on the floor. "What's going on in here?" Grant asked. "Nothing," Brad said. "Don't lie to me. What is Elf doing in here? You're not supposed to touch him." "I didn't, not at first," Brad said. "What does that mean?" "I didn't touch him until he started saying bad things." "Stop making up stories. Why did you take him out of the living room?" "I promise to God I didn't. He was just there at the end of my bed. He was saying mean things about you and Mommy." Brad, just stop. "It's true. Then he said he was going to hurt me. That's when I picked him up and threw him. You told me touching him would take away his magic." "Brad, you're too old to be acting like this," Grant said, picking up the elf. "This was supposed to be a fun family thing and you ruined it. You're grounded for the rest of the night. You can come down tomorrow morning to open presents."
Grounded on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Brad's a bad boy. Grant stormed out angrily, feeling disappointed in how things turned out. He went to the garage and tossed the elf into the garbage. What a waste of money that it turned out to be. He then went to bed. The next morning, Grant woke up feeling guilty for overreacting the night before to Brad's imagination. It was 8 in the morning, so he was sure that Brad would already be downstairs ready to open presents. Grant got up and went downstairs in his pajamas. Grant's wife was downstairs, but Brad wasn't. Is Brad still sleeping? Grant asked. Yes, he's been very quiet this morning. We'll wake him up. Grant went to Brad's room, but Brad wasn't there. He went to the bathroom, but he wasn't there either. He searched the rest of the upstairs and found nothing. He went back downstairs and told his wife he couldn't find Brad. They both went to check the front and backyards, but they were empty. Grant's wife started going to the neighborhood houses to ask if anyone had seen her son still in her housecoat. Grant started to panic at this point. Went back up to Brad's room to double check. He checked under the bed and in the closet, but still found nothing. Then Grant noticed a small lump laying under the blanket just below the pillow. He pulled off the blanket in one quick motion. Lying on the bed was an elf on the shelf. This one was green. This one was blue instead of red, though. There's also another elf adoption certificate. This one said Bradley Sparkles Dixon. That's it.
Grant and Brad's Ghastly Gab.